When you change the way you perceive reality, reality itself begins to respond differently. Dr. Joe Dispenza once asked a question that is truly worth contemplating. What exactly makes some women genuinely magnetic? It's not about appearance, age, or fitting into beauty standards. There are women who, regardless of these factors, possess a certain magnetism, an attraction that cannot be explained logically. They don't need to adjust themselves to expectations, play roles, or follow someone's rules to be desired by emotionally mature, high-value men. They simply attract, naturally and effortlessly. Why does this happen? Maybe you're tired of constantly trying to be convenient, trying to fit in, trying to do everything right so that someone notices you, chooses you, loves you. And yet you keep finding yourself in shallow relationships, full of expectations but lacking reciprocity, where words aren't supported by actions and emotional investment is one-sided. But what if real love, the kind you truly dream about, has nothing to do with strategies, manipulation, or trying to impress anyone? What if it's not about changing others at all, but about how you relate to yourself and the value you assign to yourself? The truth is simple and profound at the same time. The source of attraction is within you. Love is not luck and not coincidence. It is energy. It is the vibration you emit, the way you speak to yourself, the way you perceive yourself, the beliefs you hold about your own worth. When you begin to cultivate this inner energy, when you learn to accept and respect yourself without needing external approval, the world around you begins to shift. Women who attract emotionally mature, high-value men do not possess secret techniques or hidden tricks. They don't play psychological games. Their power lies elsewhere. They have inner habits that make them irresistible. These are not habits of appearance or behavior. These are internal patterns that create confidence, self-worth, and self-acceptance. They create the atmosphere, the energetic presence that naturally draws others in. So how do they do it? How do they become attractive regardless of age, appearance, or circumstances? The answer is that there is a set of simple yet powerful inner practices that change the way you relate to yourself, and with that, the way the world relates to you. You may have tried many things already, changing your diet, your style, your behavior, your communication. But most often, what's missing is not external change. What's missing is inner transformation. Because true attraction is born when change flows from the inside out. Then attractiveness stops being an effort. It becomes a natural reflection of who you are. You've probably noticed some women attract attention effortlessly, even when they're doing nothing. Others try incredibly hard and still feel invisible or undervalued. The difference is energy. The real key to attractiveness is how you feel about yourself, how you treat yourself, how you allow yourself to exist in the world. And this has nothing to do with arrogance or superiority. It's about a calm, grounded confidence that doesn't need external validation. You may be asking yourself now, how do I reach that state? How do I become the woman who attracts effortlessly? It all begins with the first habit, the one that truly matters. True confidence does not depend on appearance and is not born from the desire to be liked. It is an inner energy that can and should be cultivated. And that is exactly what the next step is about. How to begin strengthening this confidence and radiating your worth. Think about this. We are often drawn not to how someone looks or even what they say, but how we feel around them. The confidence of a woman who knows who she is and what she's worth is felt energetically. You can't touch it, but you can't ignore it either. This kind of confidence attracts everything that matches it: love, respect, opportunities. It is the defining quality of a truly magnetic woman. We are often taught that to be attractive, we must be perfect, fit standards, follow rules. But that is an illusion. Real beauty is the confidence you carry within. Think of a woman you genuinely admire. She may not be the most conventionally striking, yet there is something about her that makes the world lean toward her. She doesn't seek validation. She has already chosen herself. If you don't feel this yet, that's okay. This power can be developed gradually. The first step is to stop tying your worth to someone's approval or the presence of a man in your life. This is not about superiority. It's about a clear understanding of your uniqueness and wholeness. When you begin to live from this state, you'll notice how people, especially mature, emotionally grounded men, respond to the quiet confidence you radiate.
Imagine this. You walk into a room. You're not the brightest or the most noticeable person there, yet attention somehow gravitates toward you. Not because you're trying, but because of the way you carry yourself. Your posture, your gaze, your presence speak without words. I know who I am. This is the energy emotionally mature, high-value men are drawn to. They are not attracted to those who crave attention, but to women with full lives, interests, and inner stability. Women who don't need a man to feel worthy, but who are open to sharing a life that is already whole. These relationships are built not from emptiness, but from wholeness. If you're thinking, but I don't feel like that right now, remember, confidence is not born from perfection. It is born from acceptance, from the daily choice to respect yourself, care for your body, your mind, and your emotions. When you begin to truly value yourself, the world starts reflecting that back to you. People, circumstances, opportunities, everything begins to align differently. Imagine you have a dream or a project. When you take a step toward it without waiting for approval, something inside you shifts. You become more magnetic, not only to men, but to life itself. Confidence attracts abundance, recognition, and respect, because when you choose yourself, others begin to see you through that same lens. And men with emotional maturity and inner value cannot help but notice it. If you're ready to live at this frequency, to become a woman who truly values herself and attracts what aligns with her, declare it. Say, I am a reflection of the worth I allow myself to embody. And ask yourself, what would change in your life if you stopped waiting for permission and started living the way you truly want? What would happen if you stopped seeking validation and allowed yourself to simply be, without apologies, without fear? When you truly understand this, when a genuine sense of wholeness and sufficiency awakens within you, the energy you begin to radiate becomes deeply magnetic to everything you want to welcome into your life. In the next stage, we will approach an important insight, a powerful inner secret that can lead you to real love, to something that completely transforms your understanding of what it means to be desired. Prepare yourself, because what comes next challenges everything you've been taught about attraction, especially the moment you decide to put yourself first. The most important shift begins when you choose to live consciously, knowing your worth, and stop seeking confirmation of your value from other people. There is something incredibly powerful that awakens within you when you take responsibility for your life and your inner state. A strength that goes far beyond appearance, surface-level strategies, or emotional games many women still believe they need in order to attract a worthy partner. It's important to understand one truth. Emotionally mature, high-value men who truly have something to offer, are not drawn to women who desperately need a relationship. They are not attracted to those who feel inner emptiness and hope that a partner will fill it. On the contrary, they are drawn to women who are already fulfilled, grounded, purposeful and living meaningful lives. These are women who are not afraid of being alone because they understand solitude is not an absence, it is space. Space for growth, self-awareness, and personal development. Have you ever noticed that some women, even without classical beauty, attract far more attention than others? The reason lies not only in their appearance, but in how they interact with the world. They radiate a certain energy, one that is hard to resist. Whether they're at a formal event or simply walking through a market, their presence is felt. What unites these women is a calm confidence and an inner emotional foundation that does not depend on external approval. This energy is not something you're born with, it is cultivated over time through experience, awareness, and inner work. If you pause and honestly ask yourself, what exactly draws people to you? Is it only appearance? Of course, appearance can play a role, but what truly creates deep connection and keeps people close is the energy you transmit. When you learn to love yourself unconditionally without waiting for recognition from others, you become a woman who doesn't need to chase love. Love finds you. Now think of a woman you genuinely admire. It may be a friend, a public figure, or someone in your life. Ask yourself, what exactly makes her special? It's clearly not just her looks. There is something deeper, a quality that makes her unique and magnetic. It's not just her style or the way she presents herself, it's the way she carries herself, the way she holds her boundaries, the way she interacts with the world.
Her confidence, her independence, her ability to be herself and speak from a place of inner strength. This isn't about having everything society claims you should have. It's about the ability to accept your true self and live in alignment with it. Confidence comes not from perfection, but from the belief that you are already enough, already worthy of the love you desire. That is the first step toward changing how you see yourself and how others see you. This doesn't mean you'll never have doubts or difficult moments. Everyone does. But a woman who knows her worth, who takes care of herself, respects her needs, and sets her priorities, radiates a particular kind of strength. It's this energy that draws people in, especially emotionally mature men who want to come closer, understand you deeper, and be part of your world. Now pause and look at your life as it is right now. Does it reflect the value you believe you deserve? Or are you still waiting for someone else to tell you that you're good enough? This question is crucial because many women, often without realizing it, hand their self-worth over to others, waiting for external validation. But that path never works in the long run. The only approval that truly matters is the one born within you. When you begin to believe in your own worth, when you stop needing someone else's confirmation, your life begins to shift. You may not realize it yet, but every choice you make is directly connected to how you perceive yourself. Every thought, every word, every action shapes your energy. When you start putting yourself first and consciously choosing your priorities, what you attract into your life changes as well. This is an inner transformation that inevitably reflects outward. Think of it as a mirror effect. What you radiate returns to you. If you project fear, insecurity, or the belief that something is wrong with you, the world will respond accordingly. But if you radiate acceptance, confidence, and self-love, that is exactly what will begin to come back to you. The secret is learning to radiate what you want to receive. And that becomes possible only when you allow yourself to be genuine, authentic, unafraid of judgment. This is what attracts emotionally mature men. They feel this energy. They see that you don't need anyone's permission to be yourself. They understand that you're not waiting for life to hand you what you already know you deserve. And that is what makes you irresistible. Because high-value men are not drawn to women who fear taking a stand or who wait for someone else to give their life meaning.
They are drawn to women with their own lives, dreams, interests, and inner foundation. Women who know they deserve the best. Do you feel ready to put this into practice? To truly prioritize yourself and present yourself as the woman you have already chosen to be? Because the moment you give yourself that power, the world begins to reflect a new version of you. You start attracting the right people, the right opportunities, and yes, the love you desire. Because the love you're looking for doesn't appear by accident. It begins with you, with how you see yourself and how you show yourself to the world. Now that you understand the importance of honoring your worth, the next step reveals the key to true attraction, something that completely transforms how you view relationships with emotionally mature men. Don't miss this, because what comes next truly changes everything. Have you ever wondered what actually makes a woman irresistible? What draws in the men who seem out of reach? What their secret is? It's something beyond physical beauty or appearance, something that touches the very essence of who she is. The answer lies in an invisible force, an energy you cannot see but can absolutely feel. It is an inner magnetism that attracts, captivates, and holds. It may seem mystical, but it is entirely real. Women who possess this quality do not try to meet society's expectations. They don't try to become someone else. On the contrary, they fully accept themselves as they are, and that is where their power lies. Let me tell you a story. I once had a friend named Sophia. She was never considered a classic beauty. She wasn't the tallest, the slimmest, or the most striking, but she had something that made people notice her. When Sophia walked into a room, people noticed her not because of brands or makeup, but because of the energy she radiated. Her presence was felt immediately. It wasn't forced, it was natural. A calm, quiet confidence, a complete acceptance of herself. Sophia knew her worth. You could see it in her posture, in her eyes, in the way she spoke. She didn't need to try to be noticed. At the same time, there was a sense of unavailability about her. Not coldness, but awareness. She never settled for less because she knew what she deserved. It wasn't arrogance, it was real, mature confidence, shaped by years of inner work and self-discovery. She didn't seek external validation, she was her own source of grounding. This is what happens when a woman puts herself first and recognizes the value of her energy. She becomes truly powerful, and that is why Sophia was able to attract the kind of men she genuinely wanted. Emotionally mature men seeking not a surface-level connection, but something deep and real. It may seem like there's no space for this in today's world, and in some ways that's true. We live in a culture that constantly tells us to be thinner, younger, prettier, better. We're taught that our worth is measured by how well we fit an external standard. But here's the truth almost no one says out loud. Real attraction has nothing to do with how perfectly you fit the mold. It is directly connected to how true you are to yourself. It's about how you treat your body, your worth, and the life you're living. And here, not only philosophy helps, science does too. Let's look at the facts. A study conducted at Webster University showed that confidence is one of the strongest factors of attractiveness for men. But it's important to clarify, this is not about superficial confidence based on looks or body shape. We're talking about deep, steady confidence, the state of a woman who knows her worth, lives her own life, and doesn't need anyone to validate her significance. This is the kind of confidence men perceive as truly magnetic. And the best part, it's not innate, it's something that develops and strengthens over time. But how do you get there? How do you realize that you are already enough, already worthy of the love you dream about? The answer begins with inner work, with paying attention to your thoughts, your energy, your beliefs, with letting go of the constant search for approval and bringing the focus back to yourself. When you begin giving yourself this inner support, something remarkable happens. You start attracting a different kind of man, not someone looking for temporary entertainment, but someone ready for a real, meaningful connection. There's another important point. True attraction is not about what you do to get attention. It's about who you are. It's the energy you naturally radiate, and emotionally mature men feel this instantly. They are not drawn to women who desperately try to be noticed or constantly chase attention. They are drawn to women living meaningful, full lives, women who are not afraid to shine and take up space. Pause for a moment and reflect. How many times have you felt the need to change yourself to be liked? How many times have you silenced your opinions, desires, or preferences for acceptance or love? This endless search for external approval is one of the biggest obstacles to true intimacy. Real change begins when you stop trying to please others and start reconnecting with yourself. When you decide that you are valuable exactly as you are. When you allow yourself to be yourself without fear of judgment. When you begin to love yourself not as a result of someone else's love, but as an inner choice. This is the first step toward forming that magnetic energy that makes a woman irresistible. Have you noticed that some women always seem to attract the men everyone else wants? And it has nothing to do with age or physical beauty. It's about energy, their inner strength. They know their worth. They don't settle for crumbs. They choose themselves and put themselves first. That is what makes them magnetic. There are no secret techniques or hidden manipulations here. It all comes down to deep self-knowledge, self-respect, and a life that reflects your true essence. The only question is, are you ready to live this way? Are you ready to stop seeking validation outside yourself and begin cultivating this energy within? Because when you do, real love begins to enter your life naturally, without pressure, without chasing. It begins to flow on its own. Now that you understand the power of self-respect and confidence, let's move to the second secret of irresistibility. Pay close attention. This key goes far beyond everything we've discussed so far. It has the power to change everything. We've reached the deepest stage of this journey. You've already learned the first key, the power of self-respect and steady confidence that shows not only in your actions, but in your energy and presence. Now it's time to reveal the second secret, one that goes beyond everything we've talked about. This is not just about attractiveness. This is about authenticity. Women who attract real love do not seek validation.
They don't try to be someone, they simply are. Have you noticed that sometimes the most desirable things always seem to slip just out of reach, staying one step ahead? The reason lies in the mismatch between who you truly are and the reality you're creating. But when alignment happens, when you live in harmony with yourself, the universe seems to shift in your favor. Doors open, opportunities appear unexpectedly. Remember, what you radiate is a reflection of what you carry within. And this is the secret to attracting love without pressure or chasing. Real love is born not from desperate searching, but from calm acceptance. When you decide that you are whole and enough, everything begins to change. Imagine for a moment you enter a space and attention turns to you, not because of your appearance, but because of your energy. Your presence speaks louder than any brand or accessory. When you know who you are and refuse to let anyone define it for you, something truly magical happens. You become a center of gravity, not out of need, but by nature. This magnetic energy doesn't appear instantly. It's not a technique or a trick. It's a state that forms over time. When you allow yourself to be who you are, without fear of not being liked, without fear of judgment, you begin to attract not only love, but the right people and the right opportunities. Your next step is to stop searching for love outside yourself and begin cultivating it within. Self-love is not a destination, it's a path. It's the understanding that you deserve the best, without exceptions. How you treat yourself is how the world will treat you. That emotionally mature man you dream of will enter your life not by accident. He will be drawn to your energy, your self-respect, your confidence. And this is where real change begins. Love is no longer an attempt to fill a void. You become the center of your own life. A man is not needed for happiness, but when he appears, he becomes an addition to an already complete reality. He doesn't save you, you've already saved yourself. And that is why such love can be long-lasting and stable. It is built on a solid foundation. You may ask yourself, how do I apply all of this in practice? The answer is simple. Start with yourself. Work from the inside out. Release the fears and doubts that still hold you back. Focus on becoming the woman you truly want to be, and then love will come on its own. You will stop chasing, and you will start being chosen. Not because you're trying, but because you've become genuinely magnetic. This is the turning point you've been waiting for. But before we go deeper, I want to ask you for one thing. If you truly believe you can shift your energy, attract the love you deserve, and become this irresistible woman, write in the comments, "I am the woman who attracts everything she deserves." Subscribe, leave a like, and share this video with someone who needs to hear these words. Write what resonated with you the most. Your story may inspire someone else. Congratulations for making it to the end. As a thank you, I've prepared an exclusive action plan based on the habits we discussed. If you truly want to shift your energy and welcome the love you deserve, here's your practical assignment for the next few days. Day 1. Awareness of your worth. Pause and reconnect with yourself. Look in the mirror and say out loud that you love yourself. Acknowledge your strengths and your vulnerabilities. Write down 3 qualities you genuinely like about yourself. Remember, you are already enough. Day 2. Emotional alignment. Spend the day observing your inner state. Notice the feelings that arise throughout the day. Write them down. Awareness of emotions is the first step to managing your energy. Day 3. Cultivating confidence. Your task is to move with confidence. Straighten your posture, lift your head, walk as if you are 100% sure of yourself. Notice how your inner state begins to shift. Day 4. Releasing the past. It's time to let go of old experiences. Forgive yourself for mistakes. Release the pain. This creates space for the new. Day 5. Gratitude practice. Write down 5 things you are grateful for. Gratitude amplifies positive vibration and attracts more good into your life. Day 6. Embodying feminine energy. Dedicate the day to self-care. Do something that nourishes you. A walk, rest, silence. Feel your wholeness. Day 7. Alignment with love. Visualize healthy, loving relationships. Feel gratitude for this love as if it already exists. This is not about waiting, it's about tuning in to the right energy. By the end of these 7 days, you will begin to notice changes. Your energy will start to shift, and the love you deserve will begin entering your life.